Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. A double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And peace and blessings out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, so there's news circulating within the last week or so about YouTube banning videos that are spreading what they deem as misinformation on the COVID-19 vaccines. And we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. I'll get that first. Because this is just a way of Esau, or Satan, the adversary. Satan, Esau, Edom being the adversary to Israel, trying to control the narrative and trying to control people, the minds of people, to accept that vaccine. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Hey man, I remember, whenever you start learning about World War II in school, they teach you that the way Nazi Germany got so bad was because of their propaganda tools. And hey, this is just another way of, trying to control a narrative so people will fear the virus and will be comforted by a vaccine. Because that's really the main two ways you control somebody, is you put that fear into somebody and then you offer a comforting solution. The Most High does it. He says, hey, if you with the Deuteronomy 28, he says, if you hearken unto these commandments, all these things will, all these blessings will come upon you. But if you don't follow my commandments, then all these curses will come upon you. But yeah, YouTube is banning videos that are what they deem as misleading to the COVID-19 vaccine. So I'm going to get Amos 8:11. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Because they also say that they're banning conspiracy videos and stuff, things that are challenging the powers that be, So they're censoring, banning, all sorts of things to different alternative media outlets, and especially on YouTube. We know that even though they deem it as conspiracy videos and stuff, we already know where this is going. They're aiming it towards the prophets, which is going to ultimately bring in this famine of the word. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So I mean, hey, this is when the famine of the word happens, the YouTube gets shut down, all these social media outlets get banned, or an EMP hits and the internet is just completely wiped out. Hey, that's when people are going to lose their shit. They're going to be looking for answers, all right? But they're not going to find it. I'm going to get this too, Ezekiel 33. I'm going to start at 31. And it says, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. And lo, thou art unto them as a very, very lovely song of one that hath a pleasant voice, and can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do not do them. And you can talk to people in the world, and they're familiar with conspiracy theories and different sorts of things of that nature. They might be somewhat woke on some type of level. But whenever you talk to them, they usually just brush it off as entertainment. Like, yeah, I don't know if I believe it 100%, but it is really interesting. It's a interesting theory to think about, so on and so forth. So that's how they view the prophecies of the Lord, man. Whenever you mention World War III, Jacob's trouble, martial law, how it's prophesied in the scriptures, they just brush it off like, oh, that's an interesting theory. Or if you tell them that, hey, UFOs are vehicles of the Most High's angels, they're coming back to destroy and deliver, they'll be like, oh, that's an interesting theory. All right, but verse 33 it says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. So that's when they're gonna realize that, damn, they should have got right when we were telling them to get right. But hey, back in Amos 8 and 12, it says, they shall wander from sea to sea, from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. They're not going to find it, man. Because the doors of mercy are closing up, man. I mean, we're still in the time of mercy. If you can receive this word, then, hey, believe it wholeheartedly, and, hey, study, man. Hold thou fast to what thou hast, man, because, hey, we're coming into that time where it's just going to be between you and Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, Yeah, and we also know what that vaccine is going to be like, because I was reading what they got called a digital vaccine, and it's going to come in the form of the mark of the beast, and that's ultimately what they're trying to aim at, so. And also with this information too, brothers, like if you are making videos, you're gonna have to come up with a alternative way of saying COVID-19. Just call it the beer virus or something like that, or just mix the words and numbers around. Call it 91 or 91 virus, or 20 minus 1 something. Hey, get creative. Brothers are creative. You can kind of get it, but because the way YouTube's algorithm works, they put certain key phrases or words, and if it goes through their database, and that's what gets flagged, and then they'll review it. But so if you are challenging the COVID-19 vaccines, I suggest brothers to get a little bit creative with the titles. Yeah, the digital vaccine, right? We know that the digital vaccine is gonna bring in that mark of the beast. I was reading one where, like, because the traditional vaccine is they give you like a cousin of the virus to build up your immune system to fight the virus that's trending or whatever. But vaccine, I think, is just a fancy word to say it takes measures to stop the spread of something, or but they're coming out with that brain chip that alters your neurological, like neurotransmitters. That's the right word. Neurotransmitters to train your brain to fight behavioral induced diseases such as diabetes, because diabetes is caused by you like sugar too much. You got that high blood pressure. If you start eating candy and whatnot, then you're gonna go into a seizure and all sorts of things. So what that brain chip does is it gives you like those little electrodes in your brains. It's gonna send a tiny volts of electricity to alter your brain pattern to help you create healthier behaviors. So it won't fight in the actual spreading of a vaccine or bacterial infection, but it will help you uh, uh, create those healthy behaviors for something that's habit induced, I should say. Um, and then also too, I mean, the technology is on your phones already. Or if you get too close to somebody, then you'll get a notification saying, "Hey, you're close to somebody. You're too close, like social distance wise, to somebody." Um, but yeah, let me get that in Revelation. This isn't the one I wanted. (13 and 16), not 3 and 16. Yeah, Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, um, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So hey, without that mark, without that digital vaccine, you won't be able to buy or sell, make transactions, be a part of society, really. And you could see the incremental stages of it right now, because right now we're going into a cashless society, so people are breaking away from cash. You know, the only way you can buy is if you have a card. But hey, your card isn't in, because when you go into that word mark, it's a stigma or charagma, Slakia. Charagma, Greek word charagma, which means to make an incision. So, you soon, your wallet is going to be inside you, and the technology is already here. You got people in Sweden taking this, man. Um, you got Neuralink. You got different. I mean, you can look up digital vaccines and see, videos on it. This is the one I watched where he mentioned the uh, neurotransmitter creating behaviors to healthy behaviors. Um, but yeah, man, there's tons of information but they're saying that this is the solution, but in fact, this is this is the what's the opposite of solution? This is a problem. Um, you know, let's say, let's go to Revelation. Because I'm trying to get the scripture in Revelation where it says if anybody that has the mark will be destroyed. Oh yeah, here it is. Revelation 14 and 11, it says, "And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name." So you're going to be in torment if you receive that mark, you know? Or Revelation 16 and 2. "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image." So if you're putting your trust in Esau's technology to advance society or whatever, hey man, you're going off, man, because you gotta have faith in the Lord that we're fighting for a kingdom, man, and it's gonna be a physical kingdom, man, and it's gonna be ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai enforced, you know? So we ought to fear, we ought to fear or obey. Yeah, this is Acts 5:29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey the Most High rather than men." I think it's in the same chapter where it says, "You can do." Yeah, 2 Corinthians 13:8, it says, "For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." So Esau trying to control the narrative of, trying to get rid of the prophets. Hey, that's part of prophecy. We're not going to be out here forever. Going back to Amos 8:11, the famine of the word. That's doing something for us. That's part of the Most High's will. And you trying to chip everybody, that's also part of the Most High's will. You know, you, hey man, people got to wake up that the Lord controls good and evil. He controls the left hand and the right hand. So it's much better to be on the right hand side. But anyways, I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, this video was edifying. Once again, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings and salutations to the elect out there and the sheep that are, diligently listening and practicing these laws, statutes, and commandments. Hey man, hold on fast to what thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Shalom.